Morning, folks. Welcome to the Joey Show. I'm Joey Avery. Boy, do we have a special program for you today. A lot going on in the world. How are you? How are you doing? Have you been online? Have you been tracking the fun things? People are claiming the president of France is a raquinlinos. After a visit to the Ukraine, we've got Kanye has a new song. Yes, we will discuss it, even though we shouldn't, and it's a trap. We have an American Pope. We've got a lot of things, but I want to start today with something that, for the longtime listeners of this show, is paramount, is very important, is actually the most important thing. Real members of the 12 know who they are. Stand up. Drop a comment in the chat, of course. Drop a like. Shout out to the 12. Now, we know that Hunter Biden is the leader of the 12. Okay, we know that. And he's kind of been standing alone, kind of a god amongst men, kind of a fearless leader helping us get where we need to go. And we shout out and we thank and we stand King Hunter for that. But we've not really been able to elect another member to our papacy, to our Mount Rushmore, until this week. So I do want to, I think this is a special occasion. I think a special occasion deserves a special tune. And so we're going to play that right now and have a little induction ceremony, if we may. Fearless members of the 12, we are here today to introduce a new member into the most cherished group in the online world. The few, the proud, the 12. We all know our leader, dear Hunter Biden, liked to post on the pod page and became an immortal, an untouchable, and forever a part of our history. We have a new member, a second in command, who has followed and subsequently swiftly unfollowed the Joey Show Instagram page. A man who brings us from smoking rocks to smoking something that rhymes with rocks. A man who has pounded holes and crushed more backfields than Hunter Biden himself. A man who is also persecuted by the media for being who he is in his private life. He is a man with a plan who we love, Michael Sam. You are now assistant captain of the 12. That is true. That is true. We have another member. So it is Hunty B, Michael Sam, and the 12. Welcome to all beautiful celebrities who engaged briefly with the Joey Show pod page. And yes, of course, we have famous, sure, maybe I can't tell. Maybe we have or have not received DMs from Timothée Chalamet. That may or may not have happened. I'm not at liberty to say. It's a safe space. If you want to come rocking up to the DMs of the pod page, that's fine. But if you engage in a way and you fit our ethic, people, okay, who do what the fuck they want and should absolutely hold their heads high and proud for, in this case, very different reasons, because Michael Sam is an upstanding citizen who happened to be open about being gay, but people got way too into his personal life. And guess what? He is immortalized now. Hunter Biden, captain, Michael Sam, assistant captain. We are building a fucking Mighty Ducks franchise right here at the 12. And I am happy and honored to even be partially steering this ship. Now, on to interesting news this week. We did have a little video of Emmanuel Macron, as we say in the United States, or as it is pronounced, Emmanuel Macron, if you are doing it in the French parlance. Emmanuel Macron was on a flight or in a meeting or in some way back from Ukraine when people noticed a little something on his desk. I'll play the video for you here shortly. Now, I noticed this video because it was flying around Twitter, flying. Like, Emmanuel Macron is doing coke. That's what people are saying. Emmanuel Macron has been ripping Linos. Okay, and they're saying this because they're saying And when I say they, I mean random people on Twitter who are gaining a lot of traction but have not been verified by any real source, because this story was not getting picked up by any of the main sources. But people are alleging that Zelensky loves coke, that Macron loves coke, and that this is an example of him doing cocaine after a meeting. And the insinuation is that that is bad. I'm not sure I can even go all the way. Look, I don't advocate it. I'm not telling you, members of the 12, that you should just go blasting absolute gator tails before your interview. I'm not saying that at all. That would be irresponsible journalism. But if we're all going to practice irresponsible journalism, might I just say that I don't hate that the boys are a bit locked in? There's a lot to discuss. How long can you look at a map if you're not swallowing drip into the back of your, I mean, how long can you really enjoy a map if you're not on cocaine? It's a fair question, and a question not enough people are asking. Now, let's go through this first and see if we actually think this is cocaine. I'm going to play this video right now. Okay, they sit down. There is a piece of paper and a little thing there. Guy grabs the thing. Macron grabs the paper. There is a look on his face. Now we're pointing these things out. There goes the tissue. Macron has the tissue in his pocket. Guy is holding the device. What is the device? Everyone wants to know. People are alleging it's a little spoon, a classy little spoon for the coke, which I do imagine the French would use as a classy little spoon, not the edge of a hotel key like a lot lizard in a Motel 6. That's not what they do in France. The insinuation is that they were. Now, I've never seen guys in this sort of outfit do coke. Usually it's either a full-on blazer or a fuckboy outfit, not the sweater vest over the. But I will say Macron does look guilty. He looks a little odd the way he's hiding it because they have this photo. The look on his face does scream, I've been bumping absolute mountains of that sweet pow. That's what his face says. Now, I don't think that's what the object is. That looks like a napkin. It looks like a napkin, and they use like Grok was saying it's a napkin and a toothpick. No major news sources are picking this up, which, of course, the way the internet works these days, people are like, yeah, exactly, dude. You think the fucking Jews? That's what people are saying. I would never say that's ridiculous, but it will segue into the musical offering for today. But people online go, see, that's why they won't pick it up. Now, I don't think that didn't look like a baggie of Coke. Who does Coke out of a napkin? Can you put Coke in a napkin or a paper towel? That would be a reckless way to do cocaine. It doesn't make sense. I don't think that's Coke. But people are like, well, Zelensky does Coke. Can you imagine these coked up crazy people? They're driving us to World War III. That's the narrative they're trying to spin. Coke-fueled lunatics driving us to World War III. The concept being that Putin is, of course, the chill guy in this scenario. Now, I don't think it's Coke. But what if the real conspiracy is that Emmanuel Macron thought, maybe I should make this look like Coke to get people off my ass, because the other scandal involving him right now is people claiming that his wife is a man. That's what people are claiming. Some people who initially made the claims that Brigitte Macron was a former man, now a transgender woman, those people were sued for libel and lost that case and had to pay money, which you would think seems to insinuate that it's probably not true. Candace Owens, not to miss the boat here, has now made it is doing like large investigative reporting surrounding the fact that there apparently is like, it's hard to like date back what this woman's been doing, claiming it's a man and what. Either way, she's an old woman. And either way, to my point, and the thing that I'm really lost about in all these conspiracies is, what do we want the French president to be doing aside from blasting absolute mounds of cocaine and blowing out a transsexual woman's back in the Parisian sunrise? I thought that's what we assumed people in France were doing. Now, I don't mean to stereotype, but I thought the French were all about the indulgent life. I thought this guy might be giving a fine reach around happy beginning to his wife, giving her the old morning tug while sipping on a Bordeaux and smelling some snow from the Alps. That's what I thought France was all about. But forgive me, I've only seen Ratatouille. I thought that's what the movie was about. I mean, if you could blame a rat being in your hat for doing anything, why not fuck anybody and everybody all the time? These are fair questions. So it doesn't look to me like it was coke. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really have the time to dive into obscure internet stories about whether or not the French president's wife was or was not born a woman. But I do have enough time to say that's what I thought was happening in France. So it's fine, I think. But it is interesting these days how much stuff just flies around the internet. And I see this has more clicks and likes and views than anything, and no one will cover it. Now, maybe no one will cover it because it's rampant speculation, which does better online because the online universe is a race to the bottom, and the only way to punch through is by being sensationalist and fucking insane sometimes, which brings us to Kanye's new song. I shouldn't talk about it. I shouldn't. Okay, I shouldn't talk about it. It's a distraction. It's him doing what he wants to do. That might be what Macron was doing. He's trying to bring the heat off his wife. He's being nice. Kanye's new song has taken over Twitter, or X, the American history platform. American History X. It do feel like that there sometimes now. Kanye, at the end of the day, troubled, I think. Not a mind I would want to live in these days. Not the lifestyle that I'm currently into, because, in fact, one of the things I don't like is having people fuck my wife. Kanye has a difference of opinion. Reasonable people can disagree. His new album, which I think is going to be called Cuck, features a song called, and this is the name of the song, Hail Hitler. That's the name of the song. I'm going to try and say it fast so that it can't be clipped and sound like I'm saying it. I'm discussing the song. The song, and we're not going to do the lyrics, Hail Hitler. That's the name of the song. And the problem with all of it, aside from the obvious, I think the obvious problem is that that's the name of the song, and that is what he's saying a lot. The other problem about it is that Kanye is good at making music. So when he makes a song, it's kind of good sometimes. So he has had a lot of people, okay, walking around life and in the way that music has the beautiful gift and possibility of doing. He has a lot of people walking around their daily lives with a chorus of a song that goes, N-word, Hail Hitler, N-word, Hail Hitler. They don't know what I say on Twitter. That's not what you want stuck in your head when you're just walking around humming. That's not good. Now, because it's been banned by all the major streaming platforms, a lot of people have been saved from this horrible disease. But if you go on Twitter, not only do they have versions of that, people are making, you can use AI to make like a Midwest emo band version of it. We have a gentleman here who's done a ukulele cover of it. And I'm going to play the ukulele cover because I'm not going to play the Kanye version. And I'm not going to credit this person either because fuck you, right? But it's something, and it's important to know where we are in some corners of the internet, I think. So we're going to play this, and we're going to note that the gentleman singing this, offering us this musical offering, is white. Ukulele version. Okay.
Nigga, Heil Hitler. Nigga, Heil Hitler. They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. Nigga, Heil Hitler. They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. All my niggas Nazi.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Now, it's not funny because the mess, why are we doing that? We don't need to bring this back. But the problem is everyone's brain is so broken from the internet that you see it and it punches through and you go, well, at least something I didn't expect to see today. But now we're going to grow to expect it. And so this is, what is everyone celebrating this for? There's a word everyone's using, transgressive. And we're not talking about Macron's wife. All right, folks. Like an act that goes against a law, rule, code of conduct, or an offense. Yeah. So like some people are like, oh, wow, that's what art is. It's pushing something forward. And Kanye's often believed in this concept. He used to call Kim Kardashian, she's the Marilyn Monroe of our era because she got fucked on camera, which he likes. And, and so that people are rewarded for it because it's like, it's art, it's breaking codes. There are reasons why we just had some of them. So yeah, you can go around breaking every code. Kanye should come up with, if you really want to be transgressive, make a whole album of rules you want to break and do ones that are more relatable. I don't like this one. I disagree with this 100%. 100%. That's why I hate that it's stuck in my head. 100% disagree with this. Don't do it. Shouldn't be talking about him. This is what he wants. Obviously, his brain has been melted by Twitter. He's naming his album Cuck. He's doing things like this. He's fallen into a certain part of the Twitter platform, the X platform, the American History X platform. Do you want to do transgressive? Make a song that glorifies bringing children on airlines. Do that. Do that, because even then I'd be like, hey, fuck you, man. That's wrong, and that's incorrect. But it's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit lighter touch. It's a little bit more interesting. There's a fucking child on the airplane in front of me yesterday, and I know that we're allowed to bring children on airplanes. I'm aware. I get it. I'm going to have to do it sometime. It's fine. But I don't know what's worse, a sad child or a happy child. This was a demanding child. They were like, we got to string up this whole thing. We got to, they were like building a seat. So they're like, we got to pull a rope on your street, like right by the screen and all this sort of stuff. And they were very nice about it, but it was still annoying. And the child was in a bad mood. I'm an airplane. I'm so sad. I'm a child. Yeah, fuck you. I'm on an airplane too. I'm in a bad mood as well because you're here. No offense. I understand. Protect the children. But then he got happy at the end. And then he wanted to pop up over the seat and have a discourse and communicate. He was no good at communicating. He would just say, hello, sleepy people. And I would say, hello. He wouldn't say shit. Put the fucking child in a blender. Hey, you woke me up. Hello. Hello, child. Hello. I'm awake. I thought you wanted to talk. Nothing? Sitting there with your binky? You got to have a follow-up, my boy. Hello, sleepy people. Okay, and I understand kids aren't, ready to converse fully, but if you're going to talk to me and then you can't say the next thing, you got to give me a laugh. That's the whole thing that you do with children is, okay, let me get a laugh. It's, which is now my life. I get laughs out of adults, but yeah, it's the same thing with kids. You surprise them. Where did I come from? Boom, peekaboo. You surprised them, and it makes them laugh. And that's what Kanye's done to a lot of people. Now, it's bad because of what he's talking about. It's a horrible, disgusting thing that he's saying. He is making, at best, a goof, and at worst, considering the tirades that he's been on, a real point, because he's been saying crazy things about Jewish people for a long time. All Jewish people. There's not a principled stand that he has rooted anything. It's just bad, and it's poorly timed. But it has surprised people, and then people go, ah. And then it's Kanye, and he made it catchy. Now, the crazy thing about this, too, is he's got, in his video, he has backup dancers. He got a whole warehouse full of people to sing and dance and say a horrible thing that we're done saying, that we don't say for good reason. There's no reason to do this. And it is interesting to me. It's noteworthy to me because I've been having conversations with people about it, and they're like, do you think that the people doing it are Nazis? Do you think they're huge Kanye fans? And to those people, I would just say, you've never tried to book extras off the internet. People are dying to get into the acting industry. They'll do anything. They'll do anything. He could have gone on, we used to do like SF cheap casting to cast videos. You could get a line of 100 weirdos in 25 seconds. It's not hard. I think people are underestimating how much people want to be an extra in a music video. People used to suck dick for that privilege. They might still. I'm out of the game. I don't know. Not that I was ever in the game. I'm not Diddy. Okay? I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. But they're extras, and they're trying to get into Hollywood doing traditionally the reverse of what people would want to do getting into Hollywood. You don't usually, if you want to break into Hollywood, I wouldn't generally lead with anti-Semitism. That's a hot take. That's a hot take, but try to avoid the song if you can. I know I haven't made it easier, and I keep saying, why are we talking about Kanye? Because we're just giving him what he wants, and the further that he drifts from the mainstream, the more he's just going to want this. But if it becomes big and viral, then here we are. Now we have white people posting songs with him singing the word and doing the thing. And if you're going to do Hail Hitler, you might as well N-word, I suppose, which is why you shouldn't be doing either of them. But now we have people doing it, and then people are doxing those people. And I got to be honest, I'm pretty always against doxing, but I'm also pretty always against glorifying and genuinely celebrating this. So, I don't know. This is just where we are. This is where we are now. And as the internet gets more crowded and it's hard to break through and people get more and more desensitized to things and also interested in things that will shock them, and the 4chanification of everything spills out into the natural world, you're going to see this. There's a girl now, her whole thing is like she just says the N-word. She's a white girl. She's like, why can't I? And it's like, why are we doing this? We don't have to do this. It's not actually like an interesting point that you've come up with. It's just like the only lane that you saw that wasn't clogged. And so now it's the only lane that you have. And now you're like trying to use it because it's an open lane. And it's like, dude, just don't do it, Ideally, again, if this pod doesn't do well, we'll release one of these songs. Moving on, we have a new pope, and it is an American pope. We talked about the Pope last week. We released it the day that Pope Leo himself was crowned. He chose Pope Leo because he believes that it is a time of great change and potentially dangerous technological transformation. He thinks AI is going to be a huge problem. And we say, Leo, we've been here. We've been covering these same topics. The fact that the Pope is from Chicago and is American, I think, has been the more tickling part of the entire thing. And the internet enjoyed that, and I appreciate that. To me, this sets up perfectly for like a late night. Like, this is the most late nighty joke monologue thing of all time. Like, I haven't seen a ton of massively interesting takes on it, but I've seen a million amazing tweets. So I thought it might be fun to do like a late night style monologue. So I'm going to tell monologue jokes that we've written here for the new American Pope, and then we're going to drop in a laugh track, just late night style. Do it late night style for the American Pope. A perfect prompt for some late night monologue jokes. So you see, they got an American Pope now. Oh, turns out the Pope Mobile is going to be a pickup truck, but the nuts on the truck are going to be 8 years old, folks. 8 years old. Small nuts going on that truck. Small little truck's nuts, folks. Thank you. Yeah, the Pope is a White Sox fan, ladies and gentlemen, as well as a Jesus guy. Guess he has no problem waiting for people who aren't going to come back. Okay, all right. Because they suck. Because they suck. Did you write that one, Donnie? Come on, Donnie, you rat fuck. Speaking of come on your back, he went to Villanova alongside a bunch of sluts from my high school. If he baptizes as many babies as they swallow, this world will end up being more Christian than a Chick-fil-A board meeting. Hope you got that plan C. All right, folks, so those are the monologue jokes for the American Pope. Good times. Good time. I don't know who the writing staff was for that. They're sick fucks. Transgressive, potentially a little transgressive. That's okay. But we're going to let them do that. We let them. Have you seen that thing? The let them thing? This is a thing. There's some lady, she just goes like, do it. Let them. Let's see if we can find this lady, because it's a thing. If you don't know about this thing, Mel Robbins, here, right? Yeah. Here we go.
I've been using this thing called the let them theory. I love this. I want you to try it. Here's how it works. The next time you feel left out, your friends all go out to brunch together and they don't invite you. Let them. Or maybe the person you're dating doesn't want a commitment. Let them. Your company is laying people off. Let them. You spend so much time and energy trying to control other people and getting emotionally worked up about things that are beyond your control.
We are back.
Powerful. Let them. I feel like that works in certain scenarios. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's like, it's like if we're doing, Emmanuel Macron has done cocaine after a meeting with Zelensky. Again, we don't think that's the case, but let's say he did. Let's say Emmanuel Macron is blasten maleños. Let them. What do you care? Tweet about it. Let them. The Pope is an American Pope now. In fact, he's so American, I saw that his brother called Nancy Pelosi a drunk cunt online. Let them. What do we think an older brother from Chicago is going to do? Is that not the most American thing for there to be an American Pope? And then it's like, look at his tweets. He's like, Nancy Pelosi's a drunk cunt. What are these liberals doing, raping babies on the plane? Like, that's an American Pope, baby. That's an American Pope with a brother shit pumped off some high lifes at the crib, tweeting the C word at Nancy Pelosi. Let them. Kanye and a bunch of people online are now having a lot of white people say the N-word and a lot of everybody glorify one of the, if not the worst people of all time. I don't know if we let them. I don't know if we, I guess we have to let, I mean, how do you stop them? Because then you stop it and then people are like, told you, it was a conspiracy. And it's like, no, you can't. That's like coming into my house and shitting on my couch and then me kicking you out and then you being like, I told you you wouldn't let me hang out at your house. And it's like, no, I'm kicking you out because you shit on the couch. I don't have to let you shit on the couch. That's okay. I don't have to let them. I don't have to let them shit on my couch. Maybe it's better for interpersonal things. It's kind of fun. It's kind of just a fun thing to say. Let them. It's sassy. It's kind of fun. Let them. I like that. If you want to buy tickets to my tour, I will let you, folks. JoeyAvery.com/live. We've got a ton of great shows coming up for you. Dallas next weekend, depending on when this comes. Yeah, Dallas end of May, Sacramento, San Francisco, filming the special. Get your tickets now. Cleveland, Ohio, Phoenix, St. Petersburg, Florida, Springfield, Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey, Levittown, Long Island, Charlotte, North Carolina, San Diego, California, Beverly, Massachusetts. Let's get back to the show. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring back a little segment from last week. This one is called Trump Said a Funny Thing, or Trump Says Crazy Things. I don't even remember what we called it, but this is where we just take one fun, we're not going to dive into the analysis here. We're just going to enjoy a mind and how it spits things out that no one else has done before. Let's go ahead and play Donald Trump with an instant classic vintage banger.
I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up, and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy. very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88. And in New York, I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on?
I just want to take, like, him sitting in the pocket of just going through that, just saying that leisurely at a pace, not editing anything, not changing it, just living in that brain, in that mind. That feels like, I think a lot of times living in his brain, because when he's tweeting, I'm like, oh, living in his brain looks like a horrifying, insane, vindictive, crazy, non sequitur, bizarre, horrible place. But then when I watch him talk like that, it looks to me like a premier beach hotel. Like the comfort to just sit and he's taking this damn fat drug. He takes the fat shot. He says, I'm taking these damn fat drugs. Rich, neurotic, just absolutely just choke slamming his boy out of left. Very rich, very successful, but he's fat and he's neurotic. Just what? Like, what is that guy? What was his experience watching that? He's probably going, that's not me. That's not me at all. And then he hit him he called me from London about the fat shot, and he goes, this motherfucker thinks I'm neurotic? What? And then he's like, he's very rich. I wouldn't know how he would know that, except he's said things that he's just in a flow state, frankly, when talking. Just that's his comfort place. A lot of people meditate. A lot of people do self-care rituals. People get in tubs with all manner of bath salts, not the ones you eat and fight people in Florida, the ones that you relax to, the ones that they might make your skin soft or hard in the way that it exfoliates and is supposed to get soft. I'm not up on skincare. It's all crazy to me. It's for women, and I coast off their research and try to glean little learnings from the outside. I try to fight anti-aging through the women in my life. I'm not going to do any of the research directly, but I assume you have. Let me stick a finger into your Neutrogena. That's his self-care, I think, is standing up in a podium in front of a bunch of press people and just being like, I'm gonna brain dump right now. I'm just gonna get things out of my head and here. Like a lot of people, like you dream. Your dreams are supposed to be a time that your brain can unwind thoughts and shed things that it doesn't need. For Trump, that's a press conference. He just comes in, he does a flow state, fat shot drug. It's beautiful. It's sensual. It's lovely. Now, I thought this was a momentous one. I'm not going to lie. So I had made a song for the Trump Says Crazy Things segment, but I didn't want to over-song because I did make a song for the fat shot. I think we need to do the fat shot. I think this required we're going to call it a musical intervention. I recorded it so that we can have some backing here, but I'm going to try and perform it live so that you can see something here. Okay. Fat shot drug. It takes a fat shot drug. He's a top guy, a big tycoon, wears a three-piece suit in a steam room. Name on the building, pick on the wall, but when he looks down, don't see that dick at all. Fat shot drug, it takes a fat shot drug. Ooh, fat shot drug. Ooh. Highly neurotic, can't sit still, running empires on an Adderall pill. He don't need your pity, he don't need your hug. He needs one thing, and that thing is a fat shot drug. Ooh, fat shot drug. He takes a pile of Ozempic, he sticks it in his ass, calls the president with a little sass. He says it's too much money and I can't have that. Trump goes on TV and he calls him fat. He needs a fat shot drug. Ooh, fat shot drug. Boardroom baller with a buffet face. The gym and salad bar ain't his place. He's here for the greenbacks, the big bags too. Doesn't care if the side effect is a regular poo. He needs the fat shot drug.
Fat shot drug.
He tried Ozempic, he tried to pay, but the hunger demons don't go away. Now he's flying coach with his billionaire gut, cause the fat shot cost fucked him up his butt. He needs a fat shot drug.
Ooh, fat shot drug. Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. Highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up.
There it is, folks. Fat shot drug. I mean, that's a banger, no? I feel like that's kind of a hot one. That's kind of a banger. Fat shot drug might be up for a Grammy. Trump, that's not all he's been up to. He's getting a jet, baby. I'm getting a jet from Qatar. It's a beautiful place full of sand. They have sand there. They don't need jets. They can snowboard down it. I've seen the girls do it on a little thing called Instagram. We have a thing called Insta. It's a great American company, and the girls on there, they snowboard down mountains of sand. They don't need the jets. They give the jets to me. He's accepting some fucking $1 billion, $400 million. We don't really need stats here. A very expensive jet from Qatar. I don't really know. Qatar is I think how we're doing it, like Qatar Center, but instead of going and buying a guitar surrounded by men who are plucking at strings, going through a divorce and trying to resurrect a hobby they once had that made them happy when they were young men in their 20s and still had the prospect of getting pussy that's now left them because their wife left them, and also there's no chance they're going to do well on the dating market because they have a ponytail. Qatar Center is like that, but you're surrounded by a bunch of rich oil magnates who fund everything. They fund everything. They fund terrorism. Yes, they do. Not controversial. They've funded many terrorist groups. They also are the top funder to our schools and universities. Interesting. Interesting for why? Interesting. They have paid a lot of people on Trump's payroll. Pam Bondi, his His attorney general in Trump's org. She worked as a foreign lobbyist for the nation, earning over $115,000 a month in the role which she held in 2020 and in the run-up to the World Cup in 2022. She lobbied Congress on behalf of Qatari interests. She also worked in a separate lobbying position for the D.C.-based firm Ballard Partners and lobbied on behalf of Qatari interests in several conglomerates, including Amazon. So there are a ton of people who take money from Qatar. In fact, apparently Senator Lindsey Graham, who used to be very critical of Qatar, now not critical at all after a bunch of investment that they made in South Carolina, including big business in South Carolina. They made sister cities between a city in South Carolina and Doha, and now he doesn't really have much to say about it. Interesting and fun and fascinating how it all works. It's almost like there's corruption on both sides, and people who thought Trump was going to come in and clean out corruption are absolutely full of shit when he hired people with crazy lobbying interests, has gone on to set up a crypto fund that allows foreign governments to invest directly into the wealth of him and his family, even in ways that have no material value outside of influence peddling, and he's willing to accept jets and sorts of things like that. And he's not alone, because they fund people all over the place. Both sides of the aisle, both sides of the terror war, they fund people everywhere. And when people are critical of them, eventually those people end up shutting up because Qatari interests have paid them, which brings me to my next point. Where the fuck we at, though? Is that not critical? Is what I said not critical enough? How about this? Yeah, fuck Qatar. They are trying to buy us off. It's a corrupt oil nation, and I will not shut my mouth to my platform until I am paid directly by the nation of Qatar, at which point I will. I'll set up a Patreon just for people from the royal family of Qatar to come buy access to the 12. You want to talk to my people, you come talk to me, okay? If you want me to change my mind, you need to pay me directly, at which point I would probably be open to it, frankly. Frankly, I would, because it's really easy, I think, to go from looking at something and being like, hey, this is gross and disgusting and wrong, and I can see how it happens, but I need to be principled and I need to call it out. To, well, what am I just going to fix the world? Oh, what am I going to stop playing the ball game that everyone's playing? Wouldn't I do better by making business interests with the people that have business interests all over the place? And yeah, I'll take a little bit of money, but also now I have access to them. And then now I can be a mover and shaker, and I can bring my good influence into this circle now that I'm doing it. And then once you get in there, you've immediately become something that's not a good influence, but now you are wealthy. So my point here is simple. I think it is wrong and disgusting unless they want to pay me directly, at which point I'm open to it. I have a platform. Come talk to Papa. I'm willing to do it. Giving Trump a fucking jet, kid? Give me something. I think, so honestly, Trump is not here to drain the swamp. Trump is here to enrich himself. He will have policies along the way that help people, and he will have policies along the way that hurt people, and you're going to have to look at each one individually. But if you think he's a savior, you're nuts. Now, I think other countries are obviously understanding this and can and should and will try to bribe him directly because it works. Now, Trump's take on this was basically like, he said something along the lines of like, they're offering us a gift that we don't have to pay for. And, basically he was just like, if you don't take gifts, you're a loser. I'm getting us a free gift. And if you don't take it, that's because you're a loser and you hate gifts and you're not fun and I'm fun. And that is a very stupid line of reasoning for a president, but a line of reasoning that I can and do deploy on my friends at will. Oh, you want to get some sleep because you have work on Monday? That's cool. That is something that a fucking loser would say. That is something that a loser would say. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm having a little fun. Oh, I'm sorry I'm getting a nice jet for free. Now, the concern everyone has is that it's not free if you're going to do things that help a foreign interest that doesn't have our nation's interests in line, and that also gives away some of the leverage, Mr. Negotiator, when you're basically telling people what you want them to do and saying, hey, I'm going to whack you with a stick, and they're like, we gave you a plane that's going to go to your private library after the 1 year it's finally able to be used while you're president. Well, that's not great. But other countries are going to see this, they're going to get hip to it, and they're going to do what they should do, which is offer Trump the same thing. So I thought, what about we come up with an infomercial? What if Somalia wants to get in the game too? Somalia is not going to have money for a jet. Somalia is not. Shout out to Somalia. I have no qualms with the people of Somalia, and I thank you for listening to the pod. But you're not going to be able to buy Trump a Qatari jet. You don't have it. Now, I'm not an expert in Somali history, so that could be... I don't think it's probably not your fault. It's probably not your fault. To Ben Affleck, to Ben Affleck, you, to Robin Williams, you, to Matt Damon, you. It's not your fault, but you don't have it. So maybe what you could get him is, I don't know, maybe a golf cart. From the pirate-gazing shores of Somalia to the sun-tanned horrors of Mar-a-Lago, we present a golf cart. Not just any golf cart. Hand-assembled in Mogadishu, powered by sun, goat spit, and pure political confusion, it doesn't just drive. It negotiates. Like you, Mr. Trump, and your big, beautiful penis that all the ladies love. Mr. Trump, you've been driven before. Now let Somalia drive you in our state-of-the-art 1-horsepower golf cart. No, that's not a metaphor. It's just being pulled by a horse. It's got a horn that says Allahu Akbar, camel nuts hanging off the back, and a custom paint job featuring you. as the captain now. Act now and we'll throw in a complimentary Donald Trump scorecard that says, go ahead, write down whatever the fuck you want for that hole. Call 1-800-GO-SOMALI, Somali Golf Tech, for pirates from the sea to the sand trap. So there it is, folks. I mean, I'm thinking infomercials from every country. If I'm Somalian, I'm fucking doing that. I'm doing that. If I'm president of Somalia, I'm tricking out a golf cart. I'm sending it to Trump. Do I want to live in a country where the leader just gets gilded gifts from other people who expect things in return, and it just turns into what, happens in a lot of failed states run by egomaniacal leaders? No, I don't want that. And do I think we're there? No, I don't think we're there yet. I'm just saying, if I was another country, I'd push us that way. That's what I would do. And I would have fun doing it. Like, Qatar is funding terrorists as well as Congress, as well as universities and thought leaders all across America, but they're having fun doing it. And that's what we've lost. A lot of people have lost the joy in bribery. I've never been good at bribing. I can't even go to the front of a line at a club and give a guy 20. I'm like, he doesn't respect me. He'll never do it. This is illegal. I might get punched by the cops. I can't have this. I might not have what it takes. I wish I did. I would love to have fun bribing. But the second I got something, I don't know if I'm generous enough. Because if I was in charge of bribing for Qatar and I got Trump a plane, I'd be like, well, now I should get myself a plane. I'll go shopping for other people, and I'm like, well, I got them a sweater, but also there's a nice sweater for me, so now we have two sweaters. I would do that with airplanes, and that's not good. So you really have to hope the other person is being generous, which I think is the actual concern of the whole thing. But that's enough in the Trump news. In terms of news that we've been completely in front of for our entire time here, Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson's story just will not fucking quit. Will not quit. Now, I predicted every single piece of this. That doesn't make me a soothsayer, okay? I've just seen this 1,000 times before. I think a lot of people have. I think it's why we're interested in the show. But it's interesting how insanely correct I am. I was like, this could be a reality show. This will be a reality show. Apparently, one of the reasons why Jordan didn't want to answer that question in their interview about how they met is because they're protecting their origin story for a tell-all reality show that Jordan will be more or less running. This is the problem for Bill, and it is the solution for all of us because we love it. Pablo Torre has been doing some reporting on this. He's saying that they're saving their relationship exclusively for a potential reality show. He also said at one point that she had been kicked out of UNC buildings. Then that was turned out to be incorrect, but he is now reporting that there are very serious signs and sources saying that he may not make it to coaching week 1. We will see. What I'm telling you we'll see either way is that fucking reality show, okay? I said it here first. I did a preview for I'm going to do another preview for it. I want to do another preview for it because I want them to use one of our previews. You could use our previous one or you could use this one. Here's another fine, free, easy reality show cut for the Bill Belichick, Jordan Hudson reality show. Here we go. He's a 72-year-old football mastermind with the emotional range of a fax machine. She's a 24-year-old ex-cheerleader who likes power and hoodies more than David Duke. Together, they're making the play of a lifetime for love. This fall on Bravo, Fourth and Forever, the Belichick-Hudson playbook. How long does it take to deflate 73-year-old balls? Sponsored by Metamucil and Plan B. Well, I don't think she needs to use Plan B. He's got to be shooting blanks at this point. But what if he gets her pregnant, folks? What if he gets her pregnant? Now, there's an interesting stipulation in the contract at UNC that says if he doesn't make it to coaching, then his son, who they were very careful to make sure didn't show up looking like he was hired there on nepotism, would end up becoming the coach. That's an interesting stipulation. Now, what if she gets pregnant and they birth a boy, another child for the emperor? This sort of thing that would happen during Shogun era Japan. This sort of thing could happen. There could be a young heir to the Bill Belichick throne, begotten by this new, dangerous, feisty, young, conniving concubine. What if she delivers him a boy? Another heir. Sure, he has a daughter, but she's been condemned to coaching lacrosse, which is essentially the dregs of Upper East Coast society, the Northeast. Yeah, people like it here, but it's no football. It's no Patriots. What if she delivers him a boy, and that boy is even better than Steve? Steve, who's been a coordinator. This boy could go straight to being a head coach. What if he's a boy coach? What if he's a baby boy coach? Goo goo gaga. He's coaching University of North Carolina at the same time as he's being potty trained because he's the rightful heir to the throne. You tell me how that's not in play. Oh, it's in play. It's deeply in play. Furthermore, my reporting, which has been flawless on this topic, says it's the plan. So, University of North Carolina, how does that make you feel? You're going to be coached by a baby, all because you coach an old man who finally got his dick sucked for the first time in a while, I imagine. I think the Patriot way did not allow anyone in there to come. That's what I believe. That's what I've been told. That's what has been reported to me. No one on the Patriots during their championship run was allowed to release. They were saving up their testosterone and their energy and their oomph and chutzpah to win those Super Bowls, and that's what made the difference. That's why Kyle Shanahan, the coach of my beloved 49ers, has never won a Super Bowl, because he comes every morning. I heard that too. So Tom Brady, I mean, think about it. Let's go through it. Bill Belichick, as coach, okay, he already has his family, whatever. He coaches, he has the Patriot way. All of a sudden, he and his wife get divorced. All of a sudden, he's with another lady. They get divorced. He can't keep anyone happy. Now, all of a sudden, he's finally allowed to come again. He meets a young girl. He loses his absolute mind, goes crazy. Door number one, that checks out. Number two, Tom Brady. Oh, let's see. Most handsome guy, most famous guy in the world. He leaves he leaves the Patriots. Gisele's happy because she's like, oh, he's finally going to be able to come. He goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I would assume doesn't come and wins a Super Bowl. And so he's like, babe, I can't. She leaves him. Why else would you leave Tom Brady if it wasn't for the whole coming ordeal? Think about all the crazy people that they've brought there and then made better. They've rehabilitated careers. Oh, Randy Moss is a problem. Randy Moss going crazy. Randy Moss fucking everybody. He comes to the Patriots. He calms down. He catches a bunch of touchdowns. He becomes an ESPN analyst, universally loved. You tell me. Cam Newton, he's a problem everywhere. Cam's crazy. Cam's crazy. Was he the most successful Patriot? No. Was he crazy on the Patriots? No. Successful media personality. Locked it up. I'm just telling you, I think this is very possible. And the only way to break that sort of medieval spell is for an evil, young, I would say witch. Nay, I'm not going to say it because she is, as we know and as we've covered, a merwoman. A mermaid, as some call it. She's a mermaid. That picture of her on the beach as a mermaid was in plain sight. Was obvious. It was everyone was, oh, it's cute, there's whatever. Conspiracy. That was more obvious to me than a Macron Coke bag. Well, I tell you this. Let them. If Bill Belichick wants to potentially tarnish his legacy in the efforts to give a potentially evil merwoman a boy king to coach the North Carolina Tar Heels, there's only one thing we can do as a society, and I will do that on this show. I will lead by example. We have to let them, and we will. And finally, a dispatch here from the moneyed enclaves, folks. I'm going to bring you all the things that rich people are doing. People were interested in the fact that they're wearing beige. We're going to find out what rich people are doing so we can mimic them, mock them, or find them and stalk them. We will do whatever we need to do, but we will report on it here first. Door number 1, take money from Qatar. Please, you fucks, send me money. Well, apparently rich people are leaving the Hamptons. That's news to me for the first time in my life. I have a friend who lives there and hasn't invited me. But 2 friends, one has. The U.S. elite have moved on from the Hamptons. Here's where they are going instead. From rural Wyoming, no, to alternative Austin, no, and even a private Hawaiian island, yes. Now we're talking. These are the bolt holes now favored by America's uber wealthy. What the fuck is a bolt hole? A place where a person can escape or hide. That sounds too much like butthole, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, she let me put it in her bolt hole. Dude, you went to Hawaii? That's fucking crazy. Florida. Yeah, people are going to Florida. You got a tax thing there. Panama City. They're calling it Hamptons of the South. The problem is whenever people talk about people leaving somewhere, that place that people are leaving usually hasn't actually lost anything. This has happened with California forever. Everyone's like, oh, California's a shithole. California sucks. California's this. California's that. California has some things to fix governmentally, 100%. Is the state in a state of disrepair? No, sweetheart, it's not. Austin's not going to be Hollywood. It's not going to be the Hamptons. We can try something new, and new can be fun, but don't write your fucking article blowing smoke up my ass when I know where the rich people are still at, and I want one of those nice houses. Give me a house in the Hamptons, country of Qatar, please. Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I have not been to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I'm interested in it. I'm interested in the fact that skiing is actually a luxury sport, right? Like skiing and snowboarding, like I've done it. Okay. It's great. I love it. I really did love it. But I like the angle of like snowboarding that's like extreme, dude. Fuck yeah, whatever. Like the idea that skiing is like posh. It's like you rich little twinks, all due respect, are going to tear your ACLs out there. Like, Rich is sitting at the bottom of the hill having champagne. Yes, the après ski. But what if we never ski? I guess it doesn't matter because we don't know what après means. I feel like, does anyone else feel like rich people are getting low class these days? Like, it felt like they used to have done something, and if they had gone places, they actually understood something about the culture. Like, it wasn't like, okay, yeah, it was like, I went to Paris, and I know more about Paris than you, was kind of what it is now. And now it's just a bunch of fucking idiots who, like, their parents are rich, so they go to Paris, and then they come back with, like, a handbag I haven't heard of. And I'm like, that's not culture, you fucking idiot. You know less about it than I do. You just know how to Instagram it. You found the 12 best places to get a photo of Paris. You know how to shop for a fine bag there. That's not what it's about. We've talked about what Paris is about. It's about doing cocaine and fucking your trans wife while you're the president. Or so I've been told. So I guess Jackson Hole, fine. The only one of these, Austin is nuts. Austin, the self-professed live music capital of the world. Austin is not a moneyed enclave. It's not. I know rich people are moving there to save money, but moneyed enclave needs a je ne sais quoi. The only one of these that fires me up, Lanai, Hawaii. Lanai, Hawaii. Most visitors to Hawaii don't start with Lanai. Exactly. You're not starting there. Moneyed enclave people are. The teeny island at the center of the archipelago that's mostly entirely owned by tech tycoon Larry Ellison. But it's become something of a magnet for America's jet set, with everyone from Oprah Winfrey to Tom Cruise holidaying here in recent years. I imagine that the child blood, what do people, is it chromium, whatever? I fucked up the joke. It doesn't matter now. The wild island has plenty for adventure seekers. You'll find rugged beaches and limpid waters that beg to be snorkeled. and some 400 miles of ATV trails beating into rocky Mars-like landscapes. Okay, did anyone else find that sentence insanely sexual? You'll find rugged... Note to self, put some sexual music under this. You'll find rugged beaches and limpid waters that beg to be snorkeled, and find some 400 miles of ATV trails beating into rocky Mars-like landscapes that have been bent over, begging for you to drive tracks back and forth over their spine. What does limpid even mean? Limpid. Of a liquid free of anything that darkens, completely clear. Of a person's eyes, unclouded clear. Especially of writing or music, clear and accessible, melodious, the limpid notes of a recorder. Okay. Guys, we got to use that one. Vocab word, Joey Show vocab word this week is limpid. Limpid, clear and concise. Unlike this podcast, limpid. Okay, nice. Limpid, that's fun. I like it. Well, fascinating. That's the only one I really like. I don't, Dutchess County, New York. I'm sure, but just know. Hawaii is the only one I'm into. Nice try. Telegraph. Get the fuck out of here. What do you know about a moneyed enclave? You don't know shit. I have been watching the new Apple TV show, Friends and Neighbors, I believe. It's about a moneyed enclave, and that's why I like it. It's the most classic TV show in that, like, it's formulaic, but it feels elevated. Like, it's hitting all the things that I know I want, where it's like, okay, boom, you're with a rich person, but he's fallen on hard times and he's relatable. Boom, John Hamm. These are spoilers for episode 1, not the real thing. This is just a light pitch. He is rich. He's rich guy ever. He's smartest guy in the room. Snappy dialogue. I'm so smart. I've done everything. I can do everything. I have cool cars. It's the James Bond concept of everything that we want to watch. We want to jump through our screen. I don't want to see stories that are real. I can walk outside and see homeless people begging for money. That's a real human tragedy. I want to see someone who's hot and rich, but has fallen on hard times, so he has to become a good person. And now he's a better person, so I get to root for him because he's trying to get it back. And I don't have to hate the fact that he's obviously a fucking douchebag, but that allows me to enjoy the spoils of his wealth without feeling like I'm a douchebag. Now he's lost his wife, he's lost his job, and he starts stealing from the rich people, so I can feel good. I'm like, oh my God, he's like Luigi and Brian Thompson all at the same time. He's the rich guy who has taken, and the poor guy who's taking revenge, but all at once, and no one's dying, and only rich people are losing things, so I don't have to feel bad. And bad things happen to the bad people who are being bad. But also, we get to live in fun, fancy, rich world with cars and all that sorts of shit. That's perfect. That's what people want. Those are the types of shows that people are going to start making again, and to greater success, I find. And it is to some extent, it is boring because I know the Hollywood trick that's being played, but that's where I want to go sometimes. And there are times, anyway, I'm enjoying it. There are some lines and a couple acting moments and some things where you're like, all right, well, that was a little hokey, but overall it's enjoyable. And it's of a moneyed enclave. Final story from the moneyed enclaves. It looks like they're instituting a dress code at Cannes. At Cannes Music Festival, Cannes Movie Festival, okay? A festival named after tits, and they're saying we want to minimize nudity. Lost the plot, fuckface. They're saying outfits can neither be too big nor too small. That's Hollywood's only move, is bigger or smaller outfits. I yearn for the day when I can be so successful that I can march confidently down a red carpet wearing a suit that is comically too large with a top hat that is comically too small. And if it is tied to the right designer, it will be hailed as a triumph and an interesting commentary on society. And I will enjoy that, and I pray and hope to enjoy that, while also looking at a very famous woman's breasts who is also being hailed as a victor for the fashion statement. People of Cannes, if that even is your real name, get it the fuck together. This isn't what we want. It's not what we need. And furthermore, it's not what France is about. If they want to do coke on their private jets before, during, or after meeting with Volodymyr Zelensky, let them. If they want to show their tits or wear ridiculous dresses, even though they're saying they're too big, they slow down the flow of pictures or whatever, let them. None of this matters anymore. The fact that people get to that level and stress about their outfits and freak out about shit when they've already made it, calm down. Get hammered. Have fun. You're at a good party. Show some tit. Have a toot up the nose if you need one. Do your thing. Have fun. I will let you. That's the dispatch from the Money Enclaves. That has been your show for the week. This is your Joey Show. Of course, please tell a friend if you're liking it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a whatever the fuck. And we'll see you next week. Come see me on tour, joeyavery.com/live. Good night and good luck.
Thank God I have a podcast.